Shane Warne is the man out this morning, and Nathan Bracken is the new batsman. McGrath to come. So 8 down now. 93 overs have been bowled, and oh, that's well done. That's the place. Well, he's concentrating on that area just outside that off stump and causing one or two little problems. Right, let's have another look at the wicket, see if we can pick up any movement here.
Don't think there was a great deal of movement. What was very good was the line at which he bowled. Slightly scrambled seam. Definitely you can see the edge there. The ball just tending to straighten instead of actually doing a lot off the seam. Have a look at the seam here. You see, he's not as bowled upright as when Corey Collymore is bowling. And the ball didn't do a great deal. Just a nice line. That's the line you want with bowling to lower order batsmen. You have the slip cordon there, and especially here in Australia, the ball will bounce. You're not going to hit the stumps that regularly. You don't want to be bowling the length at which you're going to be hitting the stumps regularly. That's too full. You're going to get driven. Slips and the wicket keeper. Those are the men you rely on. Well bowled.
Interesting, just looking down the pitch there on the right, just to see that little bit of waviness that's there. Perhaps not as bad as it looks, but really going at that one, and that's the bounce that Michael Holding's talking about. Very often the keeper in Australia takes the ball round about shoulder height.
Give him too much width. I think he was lucky to get away with that, Darren Powell. That could easily have flown over the slip cordon for more runs. Short and wide.
So Shane Warne making 47 here. That's his best score against the West Indies. Brett Lee looking, well, I wouldn't say he's looking comfortable, because they try to shake him up a little bit, which very often happens to what Michael Holding describes as a lower order batsman. Is this some sort of club that you're forming, mate? I don't like this tail ender stuff, do you?
What's a tail ender? It's 8 for 3, 6, 9.
To refer to them as tail enders. What's the philosophy of this lower order batsman stuff?
Well, in the modern game especially, the guys who come in at 9, 10 and 11 are a lot better with the bat than in years gone by. That's well run. You have to admit that the bowlers in the modern game contribute a lot more with the bat than 30, 40 years ago, when that phrase was coined, or perhaps it was coined before that, about tail enders, because they used to start the roller when numbers 9, 10 and 11 were padding up. These days it's a completely different story. The guys go, there are a lot of them, get behind the line of the ball, try and get runs on the board, and especially if they are there with frontline batsmen, they just support them quite well.
Thinking about a single, but wisely knocking that one back. Yeah, I think your point's well made, especially in this lineup. You look at guys like Gilchrist and the times that he's come out there, and he's required that the tail enders get their heads down and bat with him, and it's made a huge difference on numerous occasions.
Well, it was 7 for 294, Greggy, and they are now 370 for 8, so the guys in the lower order certainly are doing a job.
Righto, well, what's he then?
Well, as I told him, Greggy, I told him at the ICC presentation dinner, he is a number 11. He is a tail ender. Nothing will change. He's listening. He is hearing. He has he has done a lot of work on his batting, though. He spends a bit of time at the crease, but he ain't going to get a lot of runs.
Yep. That's well played. So Bracken off the mark. let's have a quick peep at my fellow commentator's record with the bat. See what it throws up for us. 76 knocks, 10 not outs, 6 half centuries. I bet you can remember all of those.
Everyone, Greggy. And most of the shots that I played in those 6 half centuries as well. Don't remember too much about the wickets, but the runs for sure.
That's the end of the over. 8 down for 373.
I think that has been the case over the last 20 years or so.
Yes, that's the one that draws them out. That fuller delivery, just a little bit wide. I tell you what has made a big difference to the tailenders, and that's the helmet. There's no doubt about that.
Still calling them tailenders, Greg. You can't get rid of that name.
They'll always be tailenders for me. Yes, I think that people with less ability, who don't have the sort of protection that they have these days, tend not to want to hang around quite so long. These days, of course, with the helmet on, there's very little chance of doing any serious damage.
Well, to be honest, I think helmets has changed a lot of batsmen to a degree as far as technique is concerned. Years gone by, Greggy, before those helmets, you had to keep your eyes on the ball throughout. You couldn't afford to get hit at all. These guys know they just duck and turn their heads.
That's well played. Bracken really did get onto that one, onto the back foot, pulling it well, almost to mid-wicket.
Well, he marches on to 7, Nathan Bracken, and that's his best ever test score. Hit that well in front of square. Almost through a wide mid-on position. Suppose mid-on thought perhaps at one point that he had a chance of taking a catch. Jermaine Lawson, the man fielding there. Too short. Pitch it up.
Yeah, he looks as if he's prepared to throw the bat. And very often, that's the way success comes to the lower order. Shane Warne is a classic example of that. He is one of those batsmen that's always prepared to have a go. He always looks vulnerable to me early on. If you don't get him early on, he's likely to do anything. He's gone now for 47. Relief for the West Indies. Nicely flicked away. 5 off the over. 378 on the board. That's well bowled. Just short of a length again. Just searching out that outside edge. Just missed it as well.
Eight runs to Nathan Bracken, and he's desperately trying to get behind the line of the ball every time. Super slow motion camera again showing you the effect of the ball on the bat. You'll see the bat shaking a lot more with the lower order batsmen, of course, than the top order batsmen.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Well, that one nipped back a little bit and went between the bat and his back leg.
Beautiful delivery. And that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about here in Australia, that you have to rely more on the wicketkeeper and the slips. That was well directed, right towards the stumps, excellent movement of the seam, and yet it was going over the top. That's the bounce you get here in Australia. You cannot afford to bowl a lot fuller than that. And to hit the stumps, you have got to be a bit fuller. So you rely on your slips and your wicketkeeper. Hit that outside edge. Especially if you don't bowl 90 odd miles an hour, when you can beat someone for sheer pace. Have a look at this again. Look at the bat. That's because low order batsmen don't get the ball in the middle of the bat as often as the front order batsmen, the front line batsmen, as you would expect. So once the ball doesn't hit right in the middle of that bat, it will shake it, it will turn it, it will do whatever.
No!
Yes, just watch the pads here as this one beats the bat. Slow motion just showing the roll there of the pads, and just above his pads you can just see the outline of his thigh pad. A wonderful camera, it really is. Oh, he's beaten him again. This is good bowling. Exactly the way to go about it. He's been unlucky.
He has bowled beautifully. Taken 4 wickets. Most wickets taken so far by the West Indian bowlers, and he could have had a few more. Have a look at this again. Bowled upright seam. Excellent delivery. Full in length. Just about off stump. Batsman not good enough to get an edge. Yes, that's what it's doing. Both ways.
Yes, a very good over. A maiden, what's more. 378 on the board. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. He's played a couple of those. One was a full toss earlier today, which hit right in the middle of the bat. And, well, that one was a half volley and it was perfectly executed. Lovely straight drive.
Excellent cricket shot, that from Brett Lee. Wonderful stroke down the ground. Everything just looks right about that shot. Here the batsmen tell you that the on drive is not the easiest shot in the world to play. And Brett Lee, really, he's no front line batsman. That looked good.
Oh, and there's the bouncer going for it. But as he went for the shot, he looked to me as if he's also thinking about his head. Just let's make sure I get that out of the way rather than get too carried away here. He's a smiler, isn't he? This might have been a bit close. He tend to smile a bit more. Sometimes nervously. Just let's see where this goes.
Well, when it misses, you can't afford to smile. It's gone. But he enjoys his cricket, Brett Lee. That's the nature of the man. Batting a long way outside his crease there, and of course Darren Powell would have noticed that.
Good fielding. Yes, don't forget to pick up your copy of the November edition of Inside Cricket, and along with that goes that free sample of the latest DVD cricket game. That's the Ricky Ponting cricket game, very popular. Apparently it's gone screaming to the top of the pop, so to speak. That's the front cover of Inside Cricket with the greatest on it, so keep an eye out for that. Some very good stories in. Oh, an appeal there, but was there some bat? Might have been a little bit of bat there.
It was straight, but I think there was a bit of an inside edge there. I think there was just a bit of an inside edge. Who knows? This will give us a better idea. Well, difficult to say. There was no edge. That looked pretty straight.
Just a little fumble there. You've got to be careful on running on fumbles. Weight was the right call. Yeah, it was pretty close, wasn't it? That shot. It may have been the double noise that stifled the appeal. Just looking at this one, it hits him on the. Just watch this, on the back leg. Is there any bat there? Oh, very close. He's got him jumping around a little bit. 8 down for 382.